Good evening, everybody. This is the Hawk again. Tonight I'm going to talk about a serious issue, much serious than more than anything else that's going on in South Africa. Since the independence, we've seen terrible, terrible crimes happening in South Africa. Slowly but surely, it got worse and worse until it is now. The evil that is slowly grown since 1990 because the lack of law, governance, accountability, and a steady plan that will go nowhere but put the entire Africa in peril. Is the last of the countries that can produce decent amounts of food. Rhodesia produced, Zimbabwe produced some of the most food ever grown in Africa, besides South Africa. It was Mozambique and Angola. It collapsed in turn because of failed policy. Power greed, irresponsibility, and the lack of economic sense. Over decades now, country after country has failed the same policies over and over again. Once the colonialists left the people to the same communist ideology has created a mess. Failed system. History repeats itself. Do not learn by their mistakes. And so we are again. White people are blamed for the failures of government. Colonialists, false claims of colonialists. Where there's nothing left but the dirt, no electricity, and people are starving. Since 1994, started off with a steady trickle, which became with small amounts of act, and it was written off as crime. But slowly but surely, these crimes worse and worse and worse. An average of farm attacks a year, but of late, with this evil rhetoric by certain police to gain the vote by inciting murder and theft, of uneducated people that due to economic disaster that they hate. Should the food source fail, epic humanitarian crisis the world has ever seen. South Africa has more food than most of any country in Africa. And of the thousands and thousands of farms that were They've dwindled to almost nothing. You have an entire race of in there for 300 years who came, their ancestors came there, and those that died left behind a whole tribe of white people that do not by Europe did not want to be ruled by the British, who left the British left it in place. Apartheid by the Afrikaner. Apartheid was created by the British. It was adopted. And before the British came, the Afrikaner or the white people, the African whites, lived blacks of all tribes. Yes, fought each other, the whites fought the blacks. But you 150 years on your lists, they have nowhere to go. And this land, Africa is not a color. And like I said before, everyone born today in Africa is an African, including me. Yes, but I was born in Africa. So I'm an African, like it or not. I'm a white man. But my heart is African. They're attacking the farms. Because one farms, they will take your land. Excuse to take your land. The excuse that the Bantu were there before the 1600s is a lie. It's a blatant lie. The Nguni tribes came from the north. In the early 80s, the whites were there with the Khoisan and the Khoi and the Hottentots. During the 1800s, there was an insurgent from the Far East, India. This is your all colors. The Venda, Zulus, the Xhosa, the Pondo, they all came down from the north. All one nation. Right now, you're making a very bad mistake. Food. You're killing the people that can teach you how to make food. Your bread, your cinque will cost you $5. They will increase your fuel, but has no money left because of corruption. So to win votes, the excuse they have is to blame the white man. You're not a fighter, you're a coward. A man fights one on only attack women and rape children and kill men. You're not brave, cowards. And you don't know that your irresponsible behavior is kill. And by killing the farmers, you kill your food. Therefore, people, to all the politics are advocating these ridiculous things, and there's nothing but the sand in the ground, and there's no food. what you've done today, because the people will eat you, because you are the fault of this. You are the result of what has happened. To the future leaders of South Africa, understand something. No country in the world is going to invest in your country when you do this to your people. To Malema, who went to Britain the other day, and they praised him in Oxford when he lied how the white man is the greatest thing in Africa. But comes home and tells the people, yeah, and he got from stupid people. We're supposed to be educated and knowledgeable. And yet he comes to our cities and he tells the people, go take the, force the white woman to be servants. And his friend Andile tells the people, if one man dies, go kill the woman and children and their pets. And the escalation is ridiculous now. To almost, and all you're doing in your throat to have no food. The from the evening, the silence from the police is deafening. The leaders is deafening. It's from the international deafening, the silence. Land expropriation without compensation is a lie. The government owns 75% of the unused land in South Africa. Listen to what I said. Unused land. 75%. The rest of it is farmland producing food, food, food you need. And every day you cut one farm, you cut the food, and your food prices go up, and your fuel prices go up, and the crime becomes worse because people can't feed themselves, and you get la milia. And what? Who you got nothing left? Or the politician that lied to you? Authorities go to these farms and kill these people who have knowledge. They can teach you to farm. If you really want to help yourselves, go to the farmer, take some of that 75% of the land they own and create co-op farming and let the farmer train you how to grow corn and wheat and sugar cane and sugar beets and beetroot, carrots, tomatoes, sunflower seed, all these things, grow trees. And you can all prosper in this farming. Where was the government for 25 years? They waited 25 years to come with this story. And of the black farms that they did put out there, they left them with nothing, no education. Next would have lent them money because they didn't know how to farm. In joining forces with their brothers and sisters of all colors to help each other, they walked away and they left them to fail. You cannot farm with no electricity. You cannot farm anything with no electricity. You can't even mine. You'll never vote if you don't have electricity. But they want to take the land. For what? For who? And how? And you're not talking about the people that are dying. If you want the land, why are you raping the children? Why are you killing the gokos? Why are you burning their heads with hot water? Why are you torturing them for hours? Why? If it's land that's important, I ask you why, because you cannot answer this question. organization in the world. You cannot take a man's land. You cannot go and rape them and expect them. White sea. No. I see the South African Defense Forces hiding in Zimbabwe. Russian army is Zimbabwe through Mozambique. Why? They finally came. They had to stop what's going on. The Zimbabwean government had to get help to stop the people from attacking them. Because what did they do? They killed all the farmers. They took all the food. And now the people are angry. They've got nothing left. So they had to go to the big mother Russia, white people, European white people, who have now come back to help them rebuild the country. Do you think the Russians care what that government's doing? They want the minerals, just like the Chinese. They want the gold, they want the copper, they want. And they want the wheat that they can grow on those farms. So what does that tell you? It comes full circle. Do you want these people in your country, or do you want to live with your brother and your sister that have been there for 350 years with you? Because you didn't belong there either. You came from the north. They came from the south. And the others came from the east. I understand that most of the population in South Africa is uneducated, doesn't understand what's really going on. To all the black people in South Africa, you're going to stop if you continue down this road. Or you're going to force yourselves into a civil war that you will not win. Because no matter who throws the first stone, the international communities are just you. China is right there. Russian army just, the Americans are right next door in Botswana and Southwest Africa. They're sailing down the coastline in big ships right now. You think I'm stupid? And to those that do anything, believe me, the satellites above you, they see everything, know everything. Please go look at Iraq and Afghanistan. Look at Libya. They have satellites up there. They can see what's on the top of your head from miles away. They can read your phone numbers easily. They can hear your conversations everywhere. If you think you're hiding, you ain't hiding. Every transaction you make in South Africa is already read already. Every crooked thing you've done is on the internet. Do you honestly think you can hide what you have done? You can't hide. To those who like to insult, you don't hurt me. You hurt yourselves. I've been called every name trying to help you people. Over my head. Why? Because I don't care. Because in the end, if I can save, that's all we have for, nothing else. To all the lawyers in South Africa, attorneys, Anbachsman, I think that's what you call them. Stop looking in your paycheck and think about your people. Band together. Pro bono. 100 lawyers, 1,000 lawyers get together, sign a petition, sign a document, sign some damn thing, and take the government to court. Take these politicians to court under the Constitution, Chapter 2, Section 16. They've violated all of that. All of it. Where's the constitutional lawyers? Are you cowards? Too scared to stand up for your people because of money? Take on the IEC. Take them on. They too shit scared to do anything. Excuse my French. They just as scared as you are because they can't make a mistake. If they say the wrong thing, they're gonna somebody will take them on behind the door, or on their way to home. So take that responsibility away from them and shove the piece of paper in their face. But you can't, the legal way instead of the gun. Our people are dying. People, children as young as 2 years old and raped. Fathers Island watch their people being raped, their children. Oh, kids and boiled heads. For what reason? It's go. It's not going to affect me. Well, you guys don't. If you don't wake up now, in a few, they will take everything you've ever had. Appropriation stakes up. You have to fight this now. I apologize. I should have started this 3 years ago. We wouldn't be in this mess. To those of you insulting President Trump, that man knows what's going on. I can't tell you how I know, but I know he knows. I have first-hand knowledge that he knows what's going on. They're well aware that ESCOM is about to. They're well aware that there's no going to be no power. Opportunity to attack people when there's no. To all the men in South Africa that think nothing's going to happen, I come on here and I call people and I talk and we call people. We literally talking to almost all the ANC. We're talking to, and they're all saying the same thing. They don't like what's going on. They don't want what's going on. So you consider this. To all the black people, where's your services? Who took the money? Money. Why are you still earning 20 Rand an hour? Why are you still living in the townships? Why is your schools like shit? Why are your children attacking people? Why are your woman being raped? Why is the police taking bribes? Why are the politicians driving in the BMW and you're not? Why? Is it the white man's fault? Because when you go to the white man's area, it's clean. Because they want different. You need. You trusted in these people for 25 years. And it doesn't matter what politicians you put in place. If they're crooked, they're crooked. Soon they tell you to take the land, take the land, take the land. Who's going to give you the land? Who's going to be first to get land? Their families or your family? And then you voted for them. And what did they do? Did they give you land? No, it's never happened. It's a lie. The government owns 75% of all the land that's not being used. That's a fact. The other 25% of farms producing food for you. And you want to kill that? In the so-called Rainbow Nation, 70,000 white people died since 1994, and every day it climbs. And when we look, 500,000 people died since 1994 that are also black people. But 1948 till 1994, only 21,000 people died. Come on, people, you can't look at the lie anymore. To all the farmers out there, my heart bleeds for you because I know what's going on. And sometimes I'm completely and utterly powerless. I feel your children's pain when they witness these horrible, terrible crimes. Until these evil cowards that come with their guns and their knives and their pangas to terrorize your people. For what reason? And they think they're brave. These are not warriors. These are cowards. These are not men. These are cowards. Because if you took his panga and his gun away and let him fight you, he would run. He would start screaming like a woman in fear. It disgusts me, horrifies me. To every South African out there that's Christian, black and white, Indian colored, you know what is right and what is wrong. Remember something. If all these farms are gone, you're looking at an, a humanitarian crisis of epic proportions. There will be no food left. They will have to import food. Believe me, there's no money to import nothing. And the international communities are watching. They're not going to send you food because they don't trust you. They think you're going to steal it. You will starve. And then you will run forward and you go north into the deserts of Africa until there's nothing left of you and you are just the bones. And the other tribes north know what you did in the south, especially when you killed Nigerians and Kenyans and Zimbabweans and Mozambicans because they were in your way. They will remember, and then you will have nothing. And they will treat you the same way. And in the north, in Libya, they will arrest you and put you in slave camps and sell you to other people. If you don't believe me, go look. This is your future. People like Malema, he's just running around, screaming, carrying on in his Hamani suit. And he doesn't care about you. He's only worried about going into parliament so he can make some money later and have a nice house and a nice car and a wife and doesn't care. He doesn't care. Again, land expropriation compensation is a human rights violation. The killing of farmers is genocide. The between whites and blacks murders is outrageous. It's genocide. In South Africa is so bad that it's outrageous too. Murder, they tell you right now. I'm surprised you even and you survived that. She's the vice president of USAC. About Mandela's land program. creation out. Totally different to she will explain it better. Future dependent on these stupid politicians. Do not vote for the ANC if you want to change your future. There is a better way. During apartheid, you had a better life, but you don't need apartheid to have a better life. All the domestic servants and domestic workers on the farm, these people that attack the farmers, they make you starve because your farms will collapse and you have no food, no work, no nothing. Why do you let them do this to you? To the farmers, you want this to stop? Get go to the squatter camps, take and put them on your farms. Every night. This is not about racism. This is a crime. They're stealing your land. They're blaming it on racism. They're calling you the white man, but it's not. That's just the excuse. It's crime. These thieves want to steal your land. They want to steal your food. So they just use the excuse of race. It's political crime. It's a human rights violation. And the weird thing is, what people don't understand is, especially the blacks, their land was expropriated a long time ago because they hold no time to understand it yet. And they never will unless people, they give them titles. This is the communist way. To the international communities, the silence is deafening. To all the musicians so proud and so, you know, generous, the silence is deafening. To every single human rights organization, it's deafening. The silence is deafening. To the UN, your silence is. To the government, your silence. To every political party in South Africa, your silence. And to all the Christian leaders in the world, where's the deafening? The silence is deafening. How do you not look at these pictures and say something? To all the media in the world who say nothing, the silence is deafening. How ashamed you are. Sleep at night and not think about these people living in fear, can't sleep, not knowing if they're going to wake next day, or their children are going to be slaughtered, or their wives raped, or their children raped. Ashamed of yourselves, all of you. To all the lawyers in South Africa, where they are fighting every day to try and help you. Where are the lawyers? Money? Did you money? Come on, guys. you're old and you have nothing left, and you say, "I should have done something." Do it now. You to write a paper. Give these people need you. Your people need you. To all the black people out there that don't want, you know you out there. I know you fear. Fear, all of you are, because of a small few. They say no. A few people. Who stood by me and I stood by her, and she's done an amazing job. You guys have no idea how hard that lay all of you. More than you could ever know. Or a cushion for helping us out. To all the Debbie Else, Elizabeth Dudu, uh, many more. NP, FP, FFP, VF, all of them. Coke, DA, you name it. They've all contacted us. Given us advice. And we cannot support all of them. We endorse all of them. But I can tell you these are great people. Just want one in your country. And they're tired of the corruption, racism. They're tired of the crime. To all the colored people in the townships and the colored communities, guys, stop killing your people. It's time to help your people. Stop being gangsters. Stop worrying about stupid stuff. Stop selling drugs to your children. Stop pimping your kids out. Uplift your people. You're Christian people. Most of you are. To the Indian communities, reach out. Touch the world. You're not isolated now. You are a minority, just like the rest. To all the minorities out there, if you know something, stop it. Stop it now. Join, unite. To all the moderate blacks, cross the nation. If you know there's a Tutsi going to do something, tell somebody. Stop this thing now. The Wakans are not your enemies. They are brothers. They've been there for 350 years. They've been with you and done everything, been through wars together. You have bled together. And yes, we've all made mistakes. Everybody. Time to stop this nonsense. I'm out of here. Think about what I said. I'm not ashamed to tell you that I'm a Christian and I believe in God. And I believe God has spoken. And He works in mysterious ways. I never knew I was going to do this. Just somehow, I picked up one phone call. And here I am, a year later. And I wish I'd started 3 years ago. We wouldn't be in this mess. Good night, everybody. I'm out of here.